What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Ectoplasm Show. My name is Josh Hurd, and joining me is my good pal, partner in crime, Jason Koopsick. What's cracking, Playboy?
I'm drinking more coffee porter Big Rip.
Are you?
Mm-hmm. Can you hear
How's
the
that going down?
deliciousness?
I can. I can almost taste it myself. My
Yeah,
God.
it's good.
Oh, God. Drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. But you're coming up in a couple weeks, so I'm gonna have to flip you some cash or Rooney.
How many
So you
bottles
can
are
bring.
you collecting up there?
I think I got like 4 or 5.
You could mail 2 back to me. It wouldn't cost that much.
Yeah, that's true.
Or you could just buy 2 more.
I could just buy a couple more, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm fine with that too. Yeah, absolutely. I enjoy it. So what's new in your world, brother?
I am looking forward to Malvern in 2 weeks, a week and
We
a
are
half.
looking forward to having.
You
Yeah,
are? I feel special.
I'm looking forward to having you. Yes,
We're
absolutely.
going to have a couple newbies
You
that
kidding?
have never actually been on an investigation other than maybe something guided tour guide thing somewhere.
Whoa.
A couple of my, at least one I know of, but maybe a couple of my Kansas City bastard buds are going to be coming with me.
Nice.
This
Nice.
friend I used to go to high school with that I recently ran into in a bar is thinking about coming if they can. They've never been on
That'll be
one before. And then I'm bringing a couple seasoned investigators with me as well. So
always fun, pal. Always fun. Heck
Mikey
yes.
Trooper's watching us on Twitch.
What up, Mike?
Hey, Mike, it won't let me share the broadcast. Go through and share that shit for us.
Go share that shit. Go share it everywhere.
Again,
I
would
killed
like
video for a little.
to, yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, I had to.
I'd like to thank
Yeah.
podbros.com for allowing us to join their network. Go check out their
I gotta
shows.
tell you, I'm super excited to be a part of that network, actually. So, should be good stuff. Good stuff. Go check them out, podbros.com. Did I lose you already?
No,
Okay.
we decided that there were so many stories,
Yeah.
paranormal news stories this week that with it being a holiday and all, and we just kind of felt like it, and it's our show, we just decided to extend the paranormal news episode into 2 this week because there was so many good stories out there.
Dude, and I found some shit. Man. I found something so cool that instantly sparked my curiosity.
Yeah, I found one that's kind of gross.
Ooh. I want to hear gross first.
You want
Let's
to hear
hit the gross
gross
first. Yeah.
It's not paranormal. It is weird though. Definitely fits into our show, I guess. I don't think I would ever try it, but you'll see. Resourceful man creates high-end single malt whiskey from the urine of elderly diabetics.
Okay. So, elderly diabetics, he takes their whiz, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they go and they make sissy, and then he creates a single malt whiskey
Yes, and sells it.
and then sells it. What,
So
pray tell, is this called? What is it called?
This comes from Week in Weird. I'll
Okay.
just read the article real quick. The next time you hear someone say that the drink tastes like piss, you might want to have them check the label, because Gilpin Family Whiskey actually is. The completely drinkable single malt alcohol is distilled from the urine of elderly diabetics. Yum. In a
I
world
literally just.
In a world
Oh
where
my.
homebrew beer is all the rage and home distilleries are starting to take off, James Gilpin decided to take DIY alcohol to a whole new, much weirder level. You could call
Disgusting.
him a PP pioneer.
Oh,
Propelled by an
alliteration.
urban
This
legend.
is
What?
fucking sick.
Yeah.
I said
Pro-
alliteration aside, this is fucking sick.
yeah. Propelled by an urban legend and his own type 1 diabetes, Gilpin began to wonder if diabetic sugar-rich urine could be used to create high-end whiskey. Gilpin, a designer who finds himself drawn to biomedical tech, recruited his grandmother and built a homemade distillery. Turns out it works, and the whiskey ain't bad either.
Oh,
First, Gilpin
oh, they're
purifies the
drinking.
urine into water. So he purifies it into water, removes the
Okay.
excess sugar molecules from Granny's pee, then adds it to the mash to help speed up the fermentation process. The
Yeah.
end result is a clear white alcohol that Gilpin blends with another whiskey to give it the proper color and barrel-aged taste. The final steps involves bottling the pisky and label they call it pisky
Bisky.
and labeling it with the name and age of the diabetic it derived from.
Oh my god, I love it.
The result is Gilpin family whiskey, which, believe it or not, is suitable for export. So they could sell this overseas.
By God, they can.
Initially,
Get it.
Gilpin hoped he
Oh,
could start a conversation with healthcare professionals by proposing the idea as an art project, but then he heard
yeah.
an urban legend that led him to actually produce the product. It says, I heard a story about a pharmaceutical factory based in a community of elderly people, and they would send representatives door to door exchanging cushions and soft toys for tubs of urine. Well, why would they
Oh.
give the adults
Why do
soft
they need
toys?
soft toys?
The
Like
factory would then
for
take the urine and process it to remove all the chemicals that they had originally been selling their consumers on the shelves of pharmacies. I took the model and I adapted it for my own purposes. Says, don't worry, you
huh.
won't find Gilpin family whiskey on the shelf at your local bar anytime soon. It has only ever exhibited, or it was only ever exhibited a handful of times, complete with a tasting session in London, and served as more of an art piece than anything. For now, the only way to try urine-derived whiskey is to attempt to make it yourself. So I guess you can't buy it on your own.
I'm not even trying that.
No?
No.
It's sanitized and
It is. It's sanitized. You know what it is? It's a mental block on my part. Some people might be able to push past the fact that you're drinking grandpa and grandma's piss, but not this guy. I could not get past that fact. Could you drink it? Would you
no,
drink it?
no, I wouldn't.
Fuck no, you wouldn't. Come on. Oh my goodness.
It could be this
Yeah.
year's it gift for holiday or for Christmas.
Oh,
Granny P.
Granny
Whiskey.
P.
Pisky.
Granny's pisky. Ugh. Oh my
That'll
god.
warm you up in the wintertime.
Oh yeah. So we got a possible Mothman sighting here, guys.
Yeah, I've seen this.
Did you see it? And it actually happened in Point Pleasant, West Virginia.
That's why it's questionable to me.
Yeah. So okay. So you're asking basically the same question I.
Part of why it's questionable to me.
Okay. So says a local news station that serves the Charleston, Huntington area reported, quote, a man driving along State Highway 2 in Point Pleasant said that he snapped these pictures of a creature jumping from tree to tree. Many locals in Point Pleasant believe it resembles a legendary Mothman, a red-eyed creature they believe is a bad omen. Today's technology is making it difficult then to distinguish between fact or fiction. That's something that you, Jason, and myself, we struggle with every day. But with modern technology, it's almost impossible to know for sure if the pics are real. So I don't know, man. I'm looking at these pictures. I saw I believe, 3 separate pictures of this being seemingly
Yeah, that's all there
through.
seems to be out there is 3 of them.
Yep, that's what it looks like. But very very odd. Very fucking odd. Now I will say this. The first time that I saw it, the first picture I guess that I saw was more of a front type angle, more or less right after it took off from out of the tree. And it looks more to me like a very large bird or an owl, possibly. Like a large owl. And maybe possibly then, because then you look further down on these pictures or whatever, and it almost appears then humanoid, because it has legs. Okay, it looks almost like bipedal then at that point. However, it looks more or less like a shadow. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't distinguish any features whatsoever. You're just looking at like an actual shadow, or a very dark object. But it appears that it was taken probably around dusk. Would you agree with that?
Yeah,
I don't know if you're even.
I
I don't know, but to
could
me it looks
be
like maybe it could
sunrise.
be an owl. It could be a large bird. Maybe what looks like, maybe what appears to be legs there at the bottom could just be like a
big
snake,
dead snake,
man.
yeah.
Like some, like a snake that it has in its talons, I guess that's what you want to call them. But I don't know if I buy the fact that it's Mothman. But yeah, definitely a large bird, like an owl or something of sorts. Like I said, the first picture I saw, I'm like, oh wow, it looks just like an owl would look, or how I would perceive an owl anyway. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know
Very
if
jacked up.
it's looks like the head of a moth.
Yeah.
I didn't look that closely at it, but somebody can
I-
make drones to look like anything now, small like that.
Sure. Well, they had drones flying around that looked like witches on broomsticks, for Christ's sake, there for a
A
bit.
guy turned his cat into a drone.
Come again?
His cat died, and he had his stuff,
Oh.
and he stretched it out onto a quadcopter and flew it around.
Flew it around.
Had the internal parts inside of the cat.
Wow. That guy has some time on his hands. Congratulations.
He
Wow.
might have taken it to a taxidermist. Maybe he didn't do it himself.
I don't know. Damn. That's weird. His damn cat?
Yeah, his cat.
It's insane. Absolutely insane.
I don't know. It's suspect to me that it's in Point Pleasant.
Yeah, absolutely. I do know that people are kind of freaking out because they think, he's obviously like the Mothman. Whenever he's sighted, there's usually bad shit that follows. So they're kind of on guard, apparently. So, but the entire town believes in the Mothman. So they are thinking this is 100% legit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's hard. It's so hard to say because the theory of the Mothman is he pops up before tragedy, right?
Correct.
Big tragedy. So necessarily
something,
the fact that it's in the same place doesn't mean that it's not real. But
you're right.
The hysteria is because of where it's at.
Exactly. Well, the entire town, apparently. Now, I've never had the privilege of going to Point Pleasant. I would love to go one day. Don't get me wrong. But I've never been there.
We're going
from what I
year.
understand. I would love that. But from what I understand, it's more or less kind of like a tourist trap, so to speak. Like every other store has something to do with the Mothman in some way, shape, or form. Now, that's only what I've heard. Again, I've never been there. But like I said, would love to see this place for myself.
Yeah, we're
But I don't
planning
know.
on going next year for the Mothman
Uh,
Festival.
I am all about it. Yep, 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 yep.
At least I am. Gonna have a
I want to go. You
ectoplasm
fuck.
booth.
I want to go.
So this
I think it'd be fun
story,
because then we could even interview some people there.
definitely. I've been
You're like,
wanting to
oh,
go for like the
this
last 5 years, and I just haven't done it. It's a fall, beginning of fall every year, so
right, right. It's a busy time of year too, so
yeah, we'll figure it out.
fuck yeah.
So, Wolfman attacks in
Whoa,
Indianapolis.
whoa.
This comes from phantomsandmonsters.com. By the way, as a little plug, we're going to have Lonnie Strickler, the guy that runs this website, on the show in 2 weeks.
That's right.
Actually, yeah, in 2 weeks. 2 weeks
Two
from the
weeks, yeah.
time this will be released, his episode will be released. So, yeah, so this is somebody submitted this. One of his readers submitted this story about his run-in with the Wolfman. It
Right.
says, I wish to keep my name to myself, but I am willing to provide my account of what happened. This is a first-hand account of the encounter that I had with a creature of unknown origin. It was about 5 years ago, late at night. I went for a walk in the dark to clear my head one night when I got the feeling that I was being followed. Before I could say anything, a dark, fur-covered creature lunged out of the nearby bushes. It looked like a large man crossed with a wolf. It had deep green eyes and an elongated snout. The thing smelled like rotting deer carcass, and it was very, very heavy. I think they're talking about the smell. It slammed into me, knocked me to the ground where it stood over me and growled as it looked me in the face. I kicked it,
Hell no.
and it yelped before swiping at me, cutting my
Hell.
arm with its sharp claws. I was sure it was going to kill me, but then a noise similar to a car with a broken muffler backfiring scared it, and the creature ran away.
It's horrifying.
Strangely, my arm no longer felt like it was bleeding, and the cut wasn't hurting anymore. My shirt sleeve was torn, but when I wiped away the wet blood from my arm, there wasn't even a scratch left behind.
Hmm.
I was sure that it was just a bad dream, so I headed back home. I never reported this because I was certain that nobody would believe me and because it had been haunting me every day since. I haven't seen this creature since it ran off into the woods when that sound scared it off, but I sometimes worry that it might come back. I also don't know why the scratch on my arm was gone moments after the thing ran off. Everything I've found about it online has said that it was a werewolf, but I don't think those are real. It also isn't like the dog man or any other similar kinds of creatures. So he doesn't go into detail as to why he thinks it's different than the dog man or a werewolf.
Right. Like that's what I was kind of wondering. Like, what specifically are the differences? 'Cause fuck, I don't know.
I don't know. That's the whole description from him. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's weird that it would just disappear.
Huh. That's interesting though. Interesting, interesting. I don't know, man. It kind of freaks me out, to tell you the truth. Like just
Scared?
cryptids, like cryptids in general. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't, like in my mind, they don't exist. You know what I'm saying? But then, like I've been on different hunts for like werewolves and I mean, weird shit like that. And then you're out there in the middle of the woods or wherever, and you think to yourself, okay, but what if? What if there's even a slight chance that something is actually going on out here? Then you get scared. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking weird, man. I don't like it.
Well, that might be what is out at Longthorn. There could be
Could
something
be.
like that out at Longthorn.
I think we're probably going to be getting to the bottom of it sooner than later.
Well, hopefully we get to the bottom of something.
We're getting to the bottom of it. We can formally announce that here in a little bit. Have you ever heard of this Baba Vanga?
Oh, did you steal my story?
Prophecy sparks fears of Donald Trump assassination.
Yeah, you stole one of my stories.
I'm sorry, buddy. Look at me doing it again. I
That's
did
what
it
I
again.
actually I was bringing two end of the world stories this week, both having
Oh,
to do with Donald Trump, and that was one of them.
this was one of them. Okay. Am I even pronouncing this correctly? Baba Vanga?
I think so. I think that's how it's
Okay.
pronounced.
She is a famous Bulgarian clairvoyant. Warned, before her death. She actually has passed away back in like 96, I think.
Yeah, the
Anyways,
weird thing about her is not weird, but the thing about her is before she died, she prophesized that when
dude,
she died, her skills, her powers would transfer to a girl in France. They didn't know who the girl was, but a girl in France at a certain age.
whoa.
So that girl now would be in her 30s. I don't remember what the age of she said the girl would be when she died, but
Damn.
they did the math. That girl would be 30, and apparently she supposedly has her power now.
Wow.
But
That's
of course,
pretty
nobody knows
great.
who it could be.
But I want to look more into this Baba Vanga or whatever. I want to look more into her. Warned before her death that Barack Obama would become the 44th and, quote, last U.S. president, unquote,
Yeah, the quote
which
didn't
implies
include
President
Obama because
Trump
it's
won't
like
be taking office. You're right. But
that is a
it
black
would
man.
imply then that Donald Trump won't be taking office in January. The blind psychic who died in 96 at the age of 85 is attributed with correctly predicting 9/11, the rise of ISIS, 2004 Indian tsunami, crazy stuff. So anyway,
Does it
I
give
just
her exact quote in there?
that's what I'm looking for right now. It's interesting because she foresaw a great Muslim war, which would begin with the Arab Spring in 2010, play out in Syria, and end with the establishment of a caliphate by
Caliphate.
2043. What the fuck is a caliphate?
Oh,
Caliphate,
a
excuse me.
caliphate. It's
Uh,
a one
so
country like
yeah, okay. So then by that happening by 2043 with Rome as the epicenter. Then so okay, that makes total sense.
yeah, a caliphate is an Islamic state. It's led by the caliph, who is a political and religious leader. So it's basically the unification of all Islamic countries
Gotcha. Yeah.
under one person or banner.
That's just freaking nuts, man. So, but her prediction states that everyone will put their hopes in him to end it, but the opposite will happen. He will bring the country down, and conflicts between North and South states will escalate. Now, isn't that interesting? That is interesting.
Yeah, her predictions are
That's
a
what
lot like
you know,
Nostradamus in that it's not
right. Well, and I do find this interesting
precise.
because, like in 1980, she predicted that in August of 1999, quote, Kursk will be covered with water and the whole world will weep over it. Now, Kursk was actually a Russian submarine that sank in the Barents Sea on August 12th of 2000, killing all aboard. Now, so she was basically, what, 5 months? No, she was a year. She was a year away. She was exactly a year away because she predicted August of 99, and it was actually August of 2000 that all of that happened. But yeah, apparently she predicted 9/11, all sorts of
Yeah,
shit.
and
But like you said,
her 9/11 prediction had to do with twin brothers are torn
right.
down.
Is
Yeah, it's
oh that
all
yeah. The American brethren will fall after being attacked by the steel birds. The
yeah,
wolves will be
that's what
howling
it
in the
is.
bush, and innocent blood will be gushing.
But see, and people put that Bush as in being literally President Bush, and
Like President Bush. Yeah.
that's because it's a name.
Yeah.
Because there's a thing that also listed in the other one that I have. I think it's the other one I have. Oh, it's another one I saw where I think it was Nostradamus said something about trumpets, and everybody's freaking out because they think, oh, it's trumpets, so it's Trump, and it's just.
It's all of Trump's bitches, Trumpettes.
It's a Nostradamian projection, I think, or
It is.
interpretation.
They're
of
very,
stuff.
very vague. I know that. Very vague shit. Good stuff, though. But yeah, I saw that. Had to pull it. We're not very political on this show, but you know.
Oh well.
Yep.
I mean, we say we're not very political, but we've had whole political episodes. So.
Well, that's true. I mean, we did talk about,
anti-political, anti-government kind of stuff. But
fuck the establishment. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So why
Good
don't we
stuff.
take a break for a minute, and you can listen to a few
Yes.
of our sponsors, and we'll be right back.
Right on back.
Because I need a refill.
Do you son of a bitch. All right, that's fine. Dirty bastard. Let me do this here.
Life is a mystery. Confusion is all around us. The truth is out there, but you won't find it here.
Maybe it was the ghost of an alien that worked for the government.
You know, you remove the alien anal probe out of the story, and it probably wasn't this guy's worst Saturday night.
Welcome to Hysteria 51, a weekly oddcast of conspiracy theories, mysteries, and the unexplained. All viewed through skeptical eyes and the blurry lens of a beer bottle. Listen to Brent and John make sense of it all each week by subscribing. Find us on iTunes by searching Hysteria 51 or anywhere else fine podcasts are sold.
Welcome to Paranormal Warehouse. Paranormal Warehouse is the ultimate social media website for paranormal investigators and researchers. Create a profile, add friends, upload video, audio, and photographic evidence. Discuss theories and techniques in the forum. Create a group for your team or find a team to join. Watch, listen, and comment on evidence uploaded by other users. Join today and support Paranormal Unity. It's free. Visit ParanormalWarehouse.com to join. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We're waiting for you.
All right.
I really just need to move my mini fridge into my office now.
I'm surprised you haven't done that yet, man. What the
It's
fuck?
just heavy.
What's going on?
I need to rearrange some other stuff in here before I bring that in. So
I understand that.
because
Are you
then
ready
I could
to
just,
start?
Yeah. Oh, I thought we already were.
Oh no. I can't do the plugs in there while we're recording.
Oh.
Yup. All right, here we go. All right, we are back. What is up? Did you get your beer refilled there, bud? Listen to you.
No, I got a little bit of that homemade sweet apple cinnamon moonshine.
Grandma piss. Apple cinnamon flavored grandma piss. All right. You got some of the moonshine though.
Yeah, it's not actually him distilling it. It's a mixture of stuff, including what's that called? Everclear.
Oh yeah. Oh
But it's good.
yeah.
It tastes exactly like apple cider, and it's strong.
I am a big fan of apple pie moonshine. Oh my goodness. Yep, big fan. Big fan. So, heck yeah. What else you got? What else you got for us
So
today, my
this
friend?
is a new story on Phantoms and Monsters, but it's actually from a while ago. But I found it interesting, and I wanted to read it. Car impacts UFO on Pennsylvania Turnpike.
Whoa.
So this
I have not
happened.
heard about this.
It happened in '99. This is his
Okay.
report of it. I was driving home from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and I was on Interstate 76 heading westbound. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. I was visiting friends, and I was just getting home. And at night, the freeway, there's hardly any cars. Maybe a couple rigs driving by, and I come around the corner. I was doing probably 70 miles per hour. I was in my car. I drive a Nissan. Well, I hope you were in your car going 70. Anyways. And I was coming around the corner, and there was a rig off to the side of the road. He was just sitting there, and when I drove by him, he blew his horn, which I thought was kind of strange.
That is like
And he
strange.
made the sound. Oh, okay. So this was actually somebody calling in to talk about it.
Oh.
It puts in here in parentheses that the caller made the sound of a truck going off on the show. That's why it confused me. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I looked around. I thought it was weird. I wonder what he's doing. Then I looked ahead, and all of a sudden there's no road. I just saw the black outline of it. It looked just like the thing the guy
What?
had saw the UFO in. I think it was Washington. An alien attacked him. Oh, so he's citing another case of what he thinks it looked like.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He says it was shaped like the obelisk.
Okay.
Oh, so he's saying it was shaped like the Washington Monument is where it
Sure.
was going with that.
Okay.
I have no idea why he was sitting there.
Huh.
The way he blew his horn, it made me turn around and look at him. I was like, what the hell's going on? Then I looked and I saw it. It was floating in the middle of the highway, just floating there in the middle of the highway.
Wow.
My headlights hit it, and it was weird. Like the light didn't really reflect off of it. It just kind of like absorbed it almost. Like it wasn't even made of metal. My car came right underneath it, and when it did, the top half of my windshield hit it.
What?
I spun out on the road, and I landed in the median, and when I looked around, it was gone. The truck was still there. The truck was sitting, and I saw its headlights and everything. You know, I got stuck, and I tried to back out, and I couldn't do it. I had to get out of the car, and he just left.
The trucker guy left?
I guess so. He started to roll away, went right on past me, and kept on going, and I was sitting there in the middle of the road like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's a dick move, Mr. Truck Driver.
I don't know. What if that truck driver was you, and now this thing was out of the way, and you could get the hell out of there?
You think about that, though. Yeah, I get it. But at the same time, you got a dude over there that just fucking wrecked his car.
I know. I'm not saying what
okay.
I would do. I'm saying what you might do, being so
Me,
freaked
I would
out.
still help the guy. Yeah, fuck, I'd be pissing in my pants, but I'd help the guy. Like, I'm not that big of a douche.
Says I looked at my windshield, and the only damage to my car was the windshield was cracked. So about 10 minutes later, a car came down the road, and I waved him over. I told him I ran off the road. I didn't tell him about the UFO or anything I hit. He helped me get my car out of there. The only damage to my car, I had a ripped metal shield, like a heat shield off the top of my exhaust pipe. That was the only other damage to my car besides the windshield. I'm guessing that happened when he ran off the road.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so he just
Damn.
remembers it as a big plunk. He ducked his head, and it pushed him off the road. Going 70 miles an hour, and all I did was crack the windshield? That's a little odd to me.
Yeah. He hears a plunk and then spins out of control. I don't know, dude.
I don't know either. He called in. It was actually at the bottom. It said that he had called into Coast to Coast with that story in 2002.
Yeah, I was just going to ask if it was a Coast to Coast story.
Well, I pulled it from Phantoms and Monsters, but the origin of it was Coast to Coast. So
nice. Good Lord.
I haven't listened to Coast in a while.
It's been a day or 5 for me too, man. Honestly, like I'm just never up, at that hour. I'm just not up anymore.
In 2008 and 2009, I was unemployed for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
I was getting good unemployment, and I felt kind of bad about taking that money, but I could not find a job. But at night, I would sit up and play, I don't know, Xbox and have a few beers and listen to Coast almost every night.
That'd be awesome.
It was awesome in a sense, but I would have rather have been working.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I'd rather probably be drinking and playing video games.
Well, it depends on where my money's coming from.
That's a good point. Apparently, there are these things out there which you can do, that you can like do something and get paid for it, something that you're actually passionate about. They're very elusive.
Pipe dreams?
Yeah, well, they're very elusive. They are out there. They do exist. Yeah. It's just a pain in the dick getting there. What do I got here? Oh, found. Mummified skull and corpse of a strange creature discovered in the Peruvian desert. Author Brian Forrester features in a video actually released on YouTube and his website, claiming he intends to have tests carried out on his findings in the video, because he found this skull. It says tests are being carried out on this bizarre skull-like object, which was found in a cave in the Peruvian desert. Weird shit like that. He says in the video here, quote, "I don't know what to say and look forward to the possibility of seeing more specimens. The head appears to be made of bone, with skin over the top of it. It has 2 eyes, but eyes that are nothing like a human's eyes. It's more like amphibian or reptilian in nature. The mouth is so tiny that it doesn't even appear to be used for feeding." He says, quote, "It's a very mysterious thing, and I can't imagine how those 2 specimens could be fake." Crazy, crazy stuff. Did you see anything about this?
I saw the article. I did not click on it.
Yeah.
The thing about skulls are that they can be manipulated.
Yeah, and they're trying
before they're, when, like, back in whenever this person was alive, it could be manipulated.
Right. So I'm going to go ahead and read through this here. It says an article about the alleged discovery on Mr. Forrester's website said, quote, "We were recently shown and examined the above artifact that supposedly was found, along with many others, in a cave in the southern desert of Peru. Exact location to be given, hopefully, in the future. The above image of the underside of the skull indicates that this artifact is bone, about 3 to 5 millimeters thick, and still has a stiff gray skin-like material that is attached to it. Note the very narrow foramen magnum aperture, where presumably a very thin vertebral system once entered the skull. Though easy to state that it is a complex fake, the caretaker and those presumably that found it, along with other specimens, have no access to artisans or taxidermists that could have made them. Caretaker removed some of the bone from the underpart of the skull and exposed what is presumably marrow. This is all very, very odd. It says this is, as well as the bone and the skin, can be sampled then for DNA and radiocarbon testing in prominent laboratories in North America that we are working with already. Mr. Forrester has come under much scrutiny from skeptics in the past and again right now. He was involved in DNA tests which allegedly confirmed the 3,000-year-old Paracas elongated skulls that did not have human DNA. So he was also part of the team that did those elongated skulls that we've talked about many separate times.
Yeah. Now, they say do not have human DNA. I'm
That
guessing they probably ran them against animals, too?
I would hope so. Here's hoping. So, interesting, though. Interesting stuff. This guy keeps finding skulls. But I will say, like, it looks pretty fucked. Looks pretty weird. I don't know, man. I don't know. Looks like a fucking...
Yeah, I mean,
me.
I'll wait to see what the DNA results. If it's 3,000 years old, there's quite possibly might not be any DNA in there.
That wasn't the 3,000-year-old test that they were talking about were from the elongated skulls that we talked about before. This is fairly a new discovery that they haven't done any of the testing on yet. So what they're doing is they've already started to work with laboratories in North America, and what they're going to do is they've already taken the samples and things like that for DNA, for like pieces of the bone and supposed skin, sampling that for DNA, and then doing radiocarbon testing as well on them now. So results to come, I guess. I don't know. Crazy stuff, apparently. But it's quite interesting.
I think that if they figure out that it's alien, we'll never know.
No. No. They're gonna keep that shit. And then everybody that was like involved is probably just gonna like turn up to be dead or something like that. I don't know.
Probably,
Hate to say it. Just said.
It doesn't matter because we're probably all gonna die anyways.
And I was just going to ask how that might come to fruition. How are we going to die, my good friend?
Well, I've already teased it. I think it might have something to do with Donald Trump.
Here we go, guys. President-elect.
If he makes it.
If he makes it this long. That's right. That's right.
On Donald Trump's first day in office, he will be 70 years old. 70 years, 7 months, and 7 days old.
Is he that old?
Scares the hell out of people. I knew he was 60. I think, yeah.
I didn't realize he was that old.
Let me fact check that real quick.
Yeah.
Donald Trump's age. Not Sonald's Trump age. Yeah, he's 70. He was born June 14th, 1946.
There we go. Did you really type in Sonald?
Accidentally, yeah.
Goddamn moonshine. I'm joking, buddy. I'm joking. The S is right next to the D, guys. Give him a break. Come on. God damn it. So he is 70 years old. I just didn't realize he was that old. The Dawn.
So, yeah.
This
comes from altereddimensions.net. The Bible says, "Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a human number. His number is 666. That's Revelations 13:16-18.
Yes.
The surprise election of Donald Trump as the next United States president has made some religious scholars debating the significance of the numbers 666 and 777. Given an eerie numerical alignment, many now wonder if 777 is truly an angelic number, or if the enigmatic mark of the beast, the number 666, was miscalculated and instead should have rendered as 777 in modern-day translations. Donald Trump starts office at 70 years, 7 months, and 7 days old. Donald Trump was born on June 14, 1946. His first full day in office is June 21st, 2017. When Trump starts his first full day in the this thing repeats itself. Compounding the anomaly, this unusual numerological alignment takes place during the 777th year of the 5th millennium in the Hebrew calendar. So it's also a Jewish. This is the 777th year, the 5th millennium of the Hebrew calendar.
Interesting.
When scholars first noted this unusual alignment of numbers on October 2016, many took it as a sign that Donald Trump would become the next president. Most people scoffed. Polls across the board predicted Hillary would win by a landslide, then the impossible happened. The numerology of 777, according to ancient religious numerology, 777, sometimes referred to as the angelic number, is said to represent perfection. But some modern-day scholars are wondering if it more accurately represents something that they propose as the perfect beast, a master of deception who attempts to use the perfect number to deceive others into believing he is the Messiah. As proof, they point out that 666, when written in Hebrew, does appear to be the modern-age representation of 777. So have you ever seen in Hebrew 666 written out?
Does it look like a... Just go with me on this, because I'm going to try to describe it to you. Does it look like basically like a straight line going up and down, like horizontal line, and then a weird hook type thing moving off to the right?
Yeah, it's not really a hook. It's
but
moving
it's
off
more
to the
like a jaunt off to the...
It's actually moving off to the left.
Is it to the left?
Yes. And so have you ever heard that Monster
energy drinks? That's the only reason why.
The beast. It's actually, if you look at it, it's going off to the left. Just like a 7. When you write a 7, the point's off to the left.
Gotcha. So they are...
So not only that symbol, the little line at the top is a straight down line, is the representation of 6 in the Hebrew language.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But it looks like a 7.
It looks like 7. It's closer to a 7. Certainly closer to a 7 than a 6. Looking at.
So what does the Bible tell Christians to expect from the beast represented by the foreboding number?
Yeah,
according to the book of Revelations, we can expect a person who speaks like a dragon, suffers a mortal wound, severs a leader for 4 years, performs great signs, deceives those who dwell on earth, does as he pleases, and causes all, both small and great, both rich and poor, both free and slave, to be marked on the right hand or the forehead, so that no one can buy or sell unless he has that mark. Now that's something that's also been represented as possibly an implant chip to, instead of having even Google Pay on your phone or whatever, you just swipe your hand and you'll pay.
Well, it's something, it's technology that has been kicked around now for the past, over a decade. Yeah. I know that. They've been talking.
People that are already doing it. There are people that are already doing it.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
realize this was a thing now.
It's not a big thing yet, but there are people that are starting to do that.
Jesus Christ, people. Just buy a fucking smartwatch. Buy a fucking smartwatch and just raise your hand up to it. I mean, damn. It's a little less invasive. Yikes, man. I've never for anything that bad. You know what I'm saying? Like
For those that believe this thought is terrifying, as was explained by this verse, children, it is the last hour, and as you have heard that Antichrist is coming, so now many Antichrists have come. Therefore, we know it is the last hour. And it says, note, for those who refuse to give up the 666 interpretation, we grant you this unusual fact. Trump's son-in-law and critical right-hand man, Jared Kushner, owns and lives at 666 Fifth Avenue in New York.
Huh. So that's their reasoning. The guy's address.
Well, for the son, yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm surprised that the city gave that address to something. You think they just bump it off a number?
Yeah, it's kind of bad juju, isn't it?
Yeah, well, they changed the address of the Amityville Horror House for that reason, too.
What was the...
They changed it sometime back. I don't remember. They just put it off by 2 numbers. Two
okay,
points.
okay.
Yeah.
All I know is it's on Ocean Avenue, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
It was like 112, I think, and now it's 110.
Nice.
Or it was 108, and now it's 110. I don't remember which one it was.
Well, from my understanding, if you look at the Amityville house now, it's like
They
hardly
changed the
even
windows and everything, yeah.
Can't even tell, like, what the fuck, unless you were actually looking for it. So, I don't know, man. But yeah, I mean, they took out those.
It did sell for $150,000, though. Nobody knows who bought it.
Probably just somebody who wants to fucking live in a house.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see if we make it to Trump's inauguration. If he makes it to his inauguration, the thing about the Baba Yaga one, the Baba one, the reason I was going to save that one for the very last is that she said that it would be the last president, meaning that there would be no presidents, no matter who it was.
Correct. After Barack Obama.
Yeah, so that would mean that the world would truly end.
Which is fucked, man. Yeah, but she said it was going to go to 44, and that's it. As far as U.S. presidents, only 44. Which would suggest that, like you were saying, sometime in the next 2 months, we could be blinked out of existence.
There is another possibility that we could last a little bit longer and not have another president.
Very true. Or there's another possibility that it could literally just become one world, one government.
Maybe, yeah, but I think that there's
that's
not enough time between...
That's more far-fetched than us being blinked out of existence. Just saying.
Probably, yeah, because the amount of time we have. So... Yeah. Literally, we have just 2 months from today, actually.
Yes.
2 months from today is his first day in office.
Okay.
And, well, maybe it's 2 months from the recording of this day. Anyways.
Right. So we're recording this on the 26th.
For it to become a one-world government, I think it's going to take more time than 2 months. The thing that I was going to mention is, if we get into some kind of major war, Obama could refuse to leave. He could possibly pull it off, especially if there was some sort of invasion. And that he doesn't even necessarily have to. And in that case, it's not even necessarily up to Obama. It could be a military martial law where Obama won't actually be in charge. Our highest general will be in charge of the country. And then after that, we could have a little bit of time before it ends. But she did state that there will never be another president. So it's still not good.
Still not good, guys.
I don't think we'll find another form of government between now and then that we could switch to that doesn't include a president.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. It's pretty fucked. Oh, my God. So, yeah. 913-730-7255. Give us a call. Shoot us a text. Ectoplasmshow@gmail.com. Ectoplasm Show on Instagram and Twitter, if I can fucking talk. And the Ectoplasm Show on Facebook. Also, ectoplasmshow.com. YouTube and Instagram and
rate and review us on iTunes.
On the iTunes. That's what's up. Hell yes. Guys, we got so much stuff cooking. We have a lot of things up our sleeve right now. And yeah, one day soon we're going to be talking about all of it. So with that being said, hold your children close because Like 2 months, we're out of here. Just saying.
It could happen tomorrow.
It could.
We have 2 months left at the most.
Squeeze your babies extra tight, y'all. How's that moonshine sipping down, buddy?
Great.
Nice. All right. Well, I tell you what, you guys have a great rest of your weekend. We will be talking to you very, very soon. Stay the fuck out of the Black Friday sales and be safe out there. We'll talk to you soon. Peace out.
The purple revolution is upon us.